Murder on the Gravy Train by Phyllis Richman. Dedication. To Joe, Matt, and Libby, curious minds, generous hearts, willing forks. Chapter 1. Just coffee, please. A decaf espresso. I wasn't going to spend unnecessary calories on this encounter, nor was I going to risk losing sleep. "I'll have the tiramisu," said my companion. I used the term reluctantly. I should have guessed that this sallow, twitching guy with a frayed collar and happy-face tie would order tiramisu in a deli. Ottavio Rossi, despite the poetry of his name, was about as Italian as SpaghettiOs. I speculated on whether a man could be sued for false advertising in a personals ad. This freshly divorced, optimistic, and glad-to-be-alive architect recently moved to Washington, seeking company on walking tours of new city and new life, was actually a depressed-looking waiter whose feet hurt. And he wasn't much of a talker. I wondered, not for the first time, how I, nearly 50 years old, could have been so crazy as to answer an ISO and arrange a meeting with a strange man just because he sounded funny and wise in his 43 paid words. Anger and curiosity make a dangerous stew. For 3 weeks I'd been simmering since I told my boyfriend Dave, by now my ex-boyfriend, that we needed to take a breather from our relationship until he was ready to pay it more respect. What's made the breakup more complicated is that we both work at the same place, the Washington Examiner. I'm the restaurant critic and Dave is, or was, the star investigative reporter. In the past year, his star began dimming in favor of a newer, younger, and female reporter who uncannily scooped him at every turn. Understandably, he'd grown irritable. What's worse, he was increasingly uncommunicative. My usual view is that relationship problems should be solved within the relationship, but that wasn't happening. "I've got to work this out myself," Dave would answer when I tried to get him to talk. "Mr. Independent Go-It-Alone. Bob Woodward without deep throat." He didn't even try to argue when I suggested a trial separation. He just stopped calling, started treating me like a stranger in the office, and immersed himself in his work. Then he wangled an out-of-town assignment to cover a long-running trial in San Francisco. So I decided to pretend this breakup was an opportunity, a time to satisfy my curiosity about those ISO ads my office mates and I often read to each other. At the moment, though, adventurousness seemed like an astonishingly bad idea. Here I was, Chas Wheatley, a restaurant critic ever ready to mince a chef's ego to a duxelles, in this case too cowardly to make an...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?